Monday morning and welcome to KSAT News Now. Whether you're streaming with us on KSAT.com, KSAT TV app, or KSAT's Facebook page, we're really happy that you can join us this Monday morning.
Yeah, good Monday morning, everybody. And this is the first time, yes, I've had a little bit of coffee, but still waking up. This is the first time that you're checking out KSAT News Now. We want this to be viewer driven, so share your comments with us in this article. Also on our Facebook Lives, we always want to watch these comments and everything, and we'll even go back and respond to them if you just happen to catch us later on. So we've been going on Wednesdays, but now we're going multiple times a week. So keep an eye out. Make sure to have the KSAT Newsreader app downloaded and you get alerted right there.
Absolutely. We want to keep that conversation going. So start off, we want to begin with the big story over the weekend. A lot of people taking it out to the streets for the battle for reproductive justice. It continues. Hundreds here in San Antonio and thousands in Austin, really across the state, march to protest Texas's abortion law and focus on reproductive rights.
Yeah, so this was interesting. Saw a lot of people posting about this on social media over the weekend. So of course, this is the legislation that was passed last month that bans abortions after about 6 weeks here in the state of Texas. And you saw that a lot of people there wearing orange. That's basically to represent women's rights, right? And their reproductives and being able to do all that.
Yeah, so this actually started years ago to honor the 13-hour-long Wendy Davis filibuster to block a different restrictive bill. So ever since then, it's been orange. So those participating in the marches this weekend were asked to wear orange in honor of that.
Yeah, and of course, we have a big Supreme Court decision that's going to be coming up pretty soon. The Supreme Court will reconvene today, and one of the cases they'll be looking at is the future of Roe versus Wade. We know that that's a very high-profile decision from years ago. So a lot of different things going on when it comes to abortion rights, not only here, but across the country as well. And
then on Sunday here in San Antonio, a lot of pro-life advocates also took to the streets. They wanted their voices heard. We know around 50 people were present to support the abortion law and find an end to abortion.
Yeah, and of course those were people that were wearing blue on that video that you just saw right there. Okay, well.
So also happening in Austin this weekend, a big crowd. Yeah, so probably you got stuck in traffic if you were around that area for a longer period of time. Well, it was the start of Austin City Limits Festival, and while drivers were probably annoyed, me included, festival attendees were rocking out and probably losing some of their important belongings.
When is there
like
not traffic
a
in
cell
Austin?
phone or wallet. All the time, but man, we already know. We were talking about Friday that if you were going to be driving through Austin, just take the toll road and not even deal with the headache. But again.
Yeah, and so this is pretty interesting what they're doing this year at ACL, as Alicia just mentioned, just in case you maybe lost a wallet, an ID, a credit card or something like that. So they actually have a lost and found there now, and you can maybe, if you lost something, go back and check it to see if maybe someone turned it in. They have a database of a bunch of different items that apparently have been turned in, like hundreds of items right now.
Best mom bag. Has anyone lost their best mom bag? If so, go claim it until 6 p.m. today. Guest services tent that's next to the BMI stage, and you'll be able to get your items back, but you do have to provide some information. So if you recognize your item, be sure to take your ID. What else is there? Let's see.
I'm sure that some proof would definitely be needed for this. What do we have here? Well, we have some cards there. It looks like another duffel bag, maybe.
All right, so a lot of
people partying too hard.
Keep up with your stuff,
people. Partying too hard out there.
Phones, keys, key fobs. Could you imagine if you lost your key fob? I really hope you Ubered.
Yes.
Or imagine the price tag on that
or something
Uber.
Like that. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
So there is an option for you guys if you were out there at ACL. Have you ever been to ACL?
No, not my thing.
Me neither.
No.
Yeah, I've been to these big sort of festivals before, but never ACL. Yeah.
I am known to lose my phone. So now we have proof that lost and found isn't just for the kids at school. Yeah. It's for the adults too. All right. How about them Cowboys?
Yes, Dallas beats up on the Carolina Panthers to improve to 3-1. And Alicia, are you already making Super Bowl plans?
Look, every year as a Cowboys fan, grew up, born and raised in Dallas. So every year we're making plans for the Super Bowl. So maybe this year will be it.
Yeah.
You?
Is that why you're wearing Cowboys blue?
Always. I can't wear a jersey, but I can wear the Cowboys blue colors.
Yeah. So first of all, of course, we are a streaming show, so we cannot show you guys highlights, okay? But we still want to capture the moment here. So check out what we came up with here.
We as in him.
Yes.
So this right here, explain it to us, RJ.
So
your
what we
artwork.
have here, okay, let's see if I can zoom in
Yeah,
a little bit.
walk
Yeah,
in a
so what
little
we
bit.
have here is Dak throwing a touchdown to Amari Cooper right there, looking very happy right there in that photo. Number 4 representing Dak threw 4 touchdowns. In fact, and Amari Cooper caught one of them, so we have a touchdown here. And Alicia, you have another
All
one.
right, and another highlight here was number 7, Trayvon Diggs. We love him. 2 interceptions. We see here number 7, I'm really good, written by RJ. And then here we have, if you watched HBO's Hard Knocks, Believe in Yourself. And that's from his son. He's so cute. So there are some highlights for you of yesterday's win.
Yes, since of course we cannot show it, but of course we also are looking at social media reactions. So I think we showed some of these memes earlier, and let's see, we have some of those right there. Okay, so behind me, Squid Game. You saw a little bit of this, but
oh yeah, so another thing, not my cup of tea, this show, but you know.
Yeah. So yeah, the Cowboys haters right there. You just look at Zeke, Dak right there.
One.
Yeah, just checking to see if y'all still haters.
Or
a
y'all
lot of
jumping on the
excitement with the Cowboys. Yeah, definitely.
Let us know.
The bandwagon's getting a little full there. Yeah. And then Kevin Hart, he makes a cameo on KSAT News Now. Cowboys haters still in front of their TV like.
I love this one. Yeah. Yes. Yes, because a lot of people hating, always not believing in the Cowboys, but they're looking good.
Yeah, they are looking good, 3-1, so good stuff there. I believe they play the Giants coming up next. Okay, so now that we've talked a little bit of the Cowboys, a lot of excitement about that. Also, some pretty cool stuff going on. National Taco Day.
Not that we need a day to really celebrate eating tacos or tacos.
Yes, because I say that San Antonio has the best bar none. Yes, we're saying it right there. But today is officially National Taco Day, and the only thing better than eating a taco is getting one for free.
All right. Right now on KSAT.com, we have a list of some places you can score some freebies or some deals around San Antonio. For the Tex-Mex option, Taco Cabana and El Pollo Loco has some deals, and so does Chuy's. Just make sure to call ahead of time. And speaking of this, we're still on the second round of voting for our Tasty Taco Challenge. The 6 in the second round are Garcia's, Ray's Drive-In. Who else do we have? Tommy's, Pete's, Original Donut Shop, of course, and Taquitos West for some traditional Mexican tacos.
A lot of competition going on here. We've had a lot of people vote, so keep those votes coming in, and we will announce the results for the second round coming up in a couple of days.
Did you see that comment real quick on the screen?
I did, yeah.
We thought every day was National Taco Day.
Because they were talking about buñuelos, right? Like cinnamon.
Buñuelos, yeah, so a dessert taco.
Yes.
Yeah, that would be good.
That'd be amazing, yeah.
Sounds yummy.
So yeah, celebrate National Taco Day. Maybe you could even celebrate it outside because, of course, a lot of stuff going on in the weather department as well. What was your weekend like as far as
It was hot. Justin, how's it going to be? Is it still going to be, like, I was sweating. I thought it was like a cool weekend. Not really.
It was a little toasty. toasty. It's going to get better. You guys are ready for some fall weather, I presume.
Oh, yes.
Absolutely. Yes.
Okay, so we'll get
Boots
some
are
good
on
mornings.
standby.
I can't guarantee the afternoons are going to be any better, but the mornings will be better. And by the way, you guys sort of inspired me maybe to come up with a forecast with stick figures.
Oh,
yes.
Really put that together and add some flair to the weather.
You need help? RJ's your guy.
It took me like 30 seconds
Artiste.
before, yes.
This guy is an artist. I'm telling you.
Figures, very, very complicated stuff out
Good
here.
stuff. Well, guys, the rest of today we're going to be up around 90 degrees. The sun will come out. We'll see the clouds go away. So it'll be pretty nice this afternoon. Just a little bit hot. And as we look down the line, this weather's going to be short and sweet because there's really not much to it. We're around 90 each and every day. It's the mornings, though. It's the mornings that are going to feel so good. We're thinking 60 Tuesday morning, 59 Wednesday morning, 62 Thursday morning. That's good stuff.
That's perfect because last week it was a lot of having to check every single day to see what we were expecting. This looks pretty solid.
It's been pretty interesting. The week before it was very quiet. Last week was very busy, and now we're back to a quiet week, and I think we deserve it.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
a little bit of a up and down, but especially the mornings, like you said, really enjoyable right now. I think I was even driving in earlier with the windows down a little bit.
Yeah. I think we could use a nice cold front. It's not in the forecast yet, but I'm sure it'll be here, give it a month. We'll get a good one.
Good stuff.
We're crossing our fingers. That comes sooner.
Yeah.
Thank you, Justin.
Got it.
All right, and Texans are gearing up for another election this November, but they won't be deciding who, but rather what.
Yeah, this is a big day here. 8 constitutional amendments will be on the ballot, and today is the last day to register to make sure your voice is heard.
To break down everything you need to know about what's on the ballot, making his KSAT News Now debut is digital journalist Ferris Sabawi. Good morning. First, how does a constitutional amendment get on the ballot?
Hey, good morning, guys. Yeah, so it actually starts in the Texas legislature. Our state lawmakers will come up with the proposals, and it needs to pass 2/3 of both houses, the Texas House and the Texas Senate, before it gets onto this ballot for us, the voters, to decide. And as long as 50% or more voters vote for these constitutional amendments, they will be enshrined in our Constitution and new laws that the state lawmakers will have to abide by in future sessions as they make new laws.
Yeah, it's really interesting to think about this. Not a lot of people really think about constitutional amendments, but what are some of the higher profile amendments voters will decide on, Ferris?
Yeah, RJ, so this time around especially, there's a few things that came up because of some of the issues that, were pressure points during the pandemic. So I think the first one that's important to mention is there's going to be a constitutional amendment on religious services that will bar local entities, local governments, from prohibiting religious services in any way. I don't know if you guys remember, that was a big deal during the pandemic. Some churches wanted to hold in-person services and were unable to because of certain restrictions set by local governments. So that's something that's going to be up to voters to decide. Another issue that came up during the pandemic a lot was for caregivers, for some of these elderly people in senior homes. Under this constitutional amendment, if it passes, a caregiver, the resident at the senior home will be able to assign an essential caregiver, and this caregiver cannot be denied in-person visitation access at all. And that was, again, as you guys remember, a big deal that came around during the beginning of the pandemic. Some of these other amendments are really good for just closing certain loopholes. One of them, it's actually going to be the last amendment on the ballot. But for military spouses, if their spouse is killed during their service but not in the line of action, the spouse does not currently qualify for certain tax exemptions that they would have if the military spouse was specifically killed in action. So this would close that loophole if it passes. And if that military service member dies at all during their service for any reason, those tax exemption benefits would go to the spouse back at home, which is something I think, universally we can all agree on. So there's a lot on here, and I hope the voters take the time and show up to the ballot box.
Which is important because, throughout these months, throughout the years, we've heard the opinions. So now is the time to make your voices heard and count. So Ferris, what are the important dates to keep in mind as Election Day gets closer?
Well, Alicia, you guys mentioned today. Today is one of the most important dates when keeping this election in mind. Today's the last day you can register to vote. You can go to our website on KSAT.com. Our story's on the homepage to show you how to register to vote. As long as it's mailed and postmarked today, October 4th, then you guys should be in the clear either to register to vote or to change your address. Some other good dates to keep in mind: October 22nd is the last day that election workers can receive vote by mail applications. So for certain people who are 65 or older or qualify through some disabilities or illnesses, they would be October 22nd is the last day they can request that absentee ballot. Besides that, if you want to skip the lines and do early voting, October 18th to 29th will be the early voting time. So that's always a great way. That's how I like to vote personally, is getting out there early and just getting it done. And obviously November 2nd will be the election day. So that's the one that you need to remember in case you didn't go out and early vote. You can do it on November 2nd, and hopefully we'll see those results later that day.
All right, Ferris Sabawi, thank you so much for joining us. First time on KSAT News Now. I'm sure that we'll be seeing you a lot more. For anyone who's listening to us out there or watching us, Ferris always has some great stuff that he's working on, and so make sure to follow him on socials as well. And of course, for more information on the election, we have an article that Ferris just mentioned ready on our website, ksat.com. Make sure to check that out.
All right, and moving on, Brackenridge Park is a San Antonio staple. Many people who grew up here have plenty of childhood memories at this park, but a new report shows it might be due for some upgrades.
Yeah, that's right. We spoke with the Brackenridge Park Conservancy about the park's future and honoring its past. Here's what they had to say. The Brackenridge Park Conservancy, along with the city and the San Antonio River Authority, recently released a new report that details and dives into the past of Brackenridge Park. It also focuses on its present and, most importantly, its future. We talked to Lynn Bobbitt, the executive director of the Conservancy, about the preservation of Brackenridge Park and what it means for the future of San Antonio.
The Cultural Landscape Report is a document that is anticipated to be a tool for looking at how to manage the park into the future. We all, as citizens of San Antonio, have an important place in talking about what's going to happen in the future. The goal is to be able to sustain the park for generations to come. The consultants have told us is that really we don't know what we have here in terms of Brackenridge Park. Some of it is underground, like the 1776 dam that was actually started on July 4th, 1776. We want to uncover that and to tell the rest of the story of the water delivery system during the Spanish colonial days. Then move up to the pump house, in which I'm standing in front of, which was part of the San Antonio Water Works, that really the precursor to SAWS, the water being delivered from the pump house, which pumped water up to where the botanical garden is now, held in a reservoir, and then it went down into pipes into people's homes. The park, really, we are told, is unequaled in the United States with its 12,000 years of history, the river running through it for 2.5 miles, the culture and the history and the formation of the park around the course of the river.
All right, now the Conservancy is, of course, asking for input from the public on how to improve the park. Park officials are holding a few meetings this month. The first one will be online Wednesday at 6 p.m.
Then there will be some fun in-person events with food trucks and giveaways. They're hosting an open house on Saturday, October 16th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. That's in the 3700 block of North St. Mary's. And of course, for more information, you can head over to KSAT.com. I think a lot of parents happy about this. I know I've actually spoken to some parents who have not gone to Brackenridge right now just because of you know, the playground being shut down, but you still see a lot of families out there. So
I mean, it's a historical, cultural gem here. I think what was super interesting is that that old pump house was the precursor to SAWS. So when we think about our water system here, that pump house, and so anything and everything they could do to preserve it, obviously they're going to put in a lot of work and try and figure all that stuff out.
All right, and before we want to say goodbye, we do want to tell you about Facebook. So a lot of people right now having issues with Facebook, so that includes with WhatsApp as well as Instagram. They're currently down, and we were actually trying to log in to see, you know, some of the comments from viewers, but that's not happening right now.
Yeah, so usually at the end of this, we like to circle back and see what people are saying on Facebook. Just we want everyone to comment, chime in, but yeah, this is apparently a worldwide outage, right, Andrew Wilson? Yes, Andrew Wilson, he's nodding right there. He's our social media digital producer guru guy. So yeah, this is going to be interesting. So no Facebook comments for now. We might get this up later on Facebook, but of course you're watching us on KSAT.com. We really appreciate that as well.
So we'll see you tomorrow. Remember, what is that? What are we?
Go Cowboys.
Oh, the Go Cowboys. There we go. We'll see you tomorrow at 11 a.m. Remember, we're expanding this week, so we'll see you then. Thanks for tuning in.